Okay, here is our third and final example of using the quadratic formula. Again, we're trying to find our x-intercepts, also called our roots, our zeros, our solutions to this equation that I have written here on the right. So the quadratic formula is what you see written on the left. We're going to start off by identifying our a, b, and c values. So our a for this problem is 9, our b is -6, our c is -11. So let's start substituting these in. So -6 plus or minus the square root of -6 squared minus 4 times 9 times -11. All of that divided by 2 times 9. So I just substituted in my a, b, and c values. Let's simplify this because this looks a little daunting here. X equals 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 plus 396. All of that divided by 18. X equals 6 plus or minus the square root of 432 divided by 18. Now, you could plug this into the calculator and get your decimal answer, but I'm also going to show you how to simplify this radical to get an exact answer. So 432 I can break down into 144 times 3. So I'm going to say x equals 6 plus or minus the square root of 144 times 3 divided by 18. And I write it that way because what I can do is that 144 is 12 squared. So I can take the square root of 144. So I'm going to have x equals 6 plus or minus 12 radical 3 divided by 18. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify this by dividing everything by 6. So this is going to be 1 plus or minus 2 square root of 3 divided by 3. So if I break that into two problems here, I have 1 plus 2 square root of 3 divided by 3. And then I have 1 minus 2 square root of 3 divided by 3. Now if I want to write those as decimals, my first one here is going to simplify to 1.49. My second one's going to simplify to -0.82. So if I want to write these as ordered pairs for x-intercepts, I would have 1.490 and I would have -0.820. So now that I have found my x-intercepts or my zeros or my roots or my solutions, I'm going to think about this in terms of graphing. I'm going to change my color here and I'm going to focus on finding the vertex. The formula for finding the x value of the vertex is -b divided by 2a. So I have -6 divided by 2 times 9, which is going to give me 6 divided by 18, which is the same as 1/3. So I know for my vertex, I'm going to have 1/3 comma something. So let's plug that 1/3 back into my equation here. So 9 times 1/3 squared minus 6 times 1/3 minus 11. So let's see. 1/3 squared is 1/9, and 9 times 1/9 is going to give me 1. And then 6 times 1/3 is 2, so -2 minus 11. And if I simplify, that's going to give me -12. So the y value to my vertex is -12. So I can see here, I've got my x-intercepts here. They're also written down here in radical form if I want them that way. I plugged in my formula for finding the x value of my vertex, found what the x was, and substituted that x back into the equation to get the y value so that I could have my vertex here. So now I have 3 pieces that would be required in order to graph.